Hey guys, it's Eric Cronover from Nerdy Geek Talk, source for all your nerdy geeky needs, here with episode 10, I believe, of Mandalore Mandate. It's been a while, but we're back. Joining me today, I have John, Darth
What's
Forge,
up?
aka John. How are you, John?
I'm good. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know. So we're getting back into the swing of things. John and I have both missed this. Luke, I straight up just meant to talk to him about this, and then, but this was a last minute thing, so it's not like I just particularly excluded him. He's been pretty busy most of the times we've talked to him, anyways. So, but I'm definitely gonna talk to Luke again to see if we can figure out a time he can make it too. I'm also hoping to do Awesome Asylum at some point this week. I don't know about you, but we could talk
Yeah,
some Endgame. I feel like that there's clearly from our pre-show discussion, the two of us we've been talking mainly about Endgame and that kind of stuff. So I feel like
yep,
there's conversation to be had there for
absolutely.
Awesome Asylum. But yeah, so today we're just going to talk a bit about recent Star Wars news. So um, first off, we're not going to talk about the trailer in depth, but like, what did you think of the Episode 9 trailer, The Rise of Skywalker?
It was it was good. Um, it's definitely got me really excited. Hold on, let me pull it up here and go through it real quick.
I agree, but I'm also cautious because the Emperor thing, like that blew my mind,
Yes.
and I'm thrilled. But I'm also, I trust them. I think they'll do it right. They won't do something stupid. But I am a little bit worried that it's like, oh, we finally have all this new stuff, and we're settling into the new. And oh my God, there's Palpatine. Like, but I don't.
I'm hope. Here's what I'm hoping is the story behind that. I'm hoping that it is something like they have to go to the Death Star for like to scavenge for something,
Mm,
and they come across the Force ghost of the Emperor.
yeah, which
I hope that's the most that it is.
I hope that it's a Force Ghost. There's also the potential that it's like old hologram, like a recorded message, that kind of stuff. I've heard some people say. I feel like that would be kind of a letdown to like pump it up, like, oh my God, here's this big shock, but actually it's just a recorded message. Like at the same, feel like so. I'm hoping Force Ghost because I feel like that's the happy medium. I do not want him to be a resurrected clone.
No,
It, I'm not going to say it's
absolutely not.
impossible to pull that off well, but it is almost impossible to pull that off well.
How
Don't do
much would
that.
you hate it if they just came out and said that he never died?
That would be the worst possible thing ever. I'd take clone over that. Ah,
What
man.
did you think of Kylo Ren's welded back together helmet?
I am very curious why, but I dig it. I'm very
Yeah, I've
excited for
always liked the
Kylo Ren.
helmet.
Yeah,
So
I love the helmet. I'm glad that it's. I'm very curious why though, because it was very symbolic that he got rid of it, like that he just smashed it and left it, and he doesn't need it anymore. Which is ironic because originally I was like, "Dang, I hate that he's not wearing his helmet as much." Like whenever for the promo stuff for the Last Jedi, because like I like him in that helmet. He looks so much cooler. I don't like him without his helmet. But the Last Jedi pulled it off so well and made the characterization just so much deeper too that I'm just like, no, you know what? I'm fine with him not having a helmet. Like I love Kylo Ren, like just as a person. I don't need the helmet. Do I mind having the helmet back with cool red marks all over it? No, I'm cool with that too. So we'll see what happens. But like, yeah, I also Ray's outfit, I get symbolically that she went from like her normal robes to the gray robes in The Last Jedi, now to white robes. I dig the gray robes a lot better than the white robes. I get again, I totally get what it symbolizes. I understand what they're doing, and I'm fine with that. I'm sure by the time the movie comes out, I'll be used to it. But I just think that I prefer her The Last Jedi design the most. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about. Other than I'm excited, really. But you know what there is to talk about?
what?
Post episode 9 because that's been up in the air lately. And we just had announcements for when the next three Star Wars movies will be coming out. We don't know what they are, we know what one is. So 2022 is the next release date. That is the next Star Wars movie. So 2019, The Rise of Skywalker is coming out. 2022, so 3 years later in December, we are getting another Star Wars movie. Then 2024 in December, another one. 2026 in December, we're getting another one. So those three movies, we don't know what they are, but the 2022 movie is the one that is indeed being developed by the Game of Thrones writers. So that is cool. That's exciting. Is it Old Republic? I don't know, but everyone's talked about that, so I feel like we don't really need to talk about if it's Old Republic that much because maybe it is, and that'll be cool if it is, but in all honesty, that's been like run into the ground at this point. My main thing is, do you think that since there's 2 years in between each of those movies, it's going to be their trilogy? Because we know of the, and also uh, they said that there are 6 movies in development right now, which we already knew, but it's just various stages. So, do we think that this is their trilogy, or that it's just the first movie for them, their trilogy, and then a Ryan Johnson movie, then another one of theirs, and then we'll get more later? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't know. I'm curious what you think. Do you think it's their trilogy over the next until 2026, or do you think it'll be a mix?
I think it will be mixed. I think they like the way that they switch between the movies, and I think they're going to keep on with that trend. I also like that trend. You know, it gives us a break
My
from each
only
story.
problem with that is that since they're 2 years apart now, is that when you alternate, that puts the trilogy 4 years apart a movie, which feels like a long time. Because
Well,
2022 will be the first
how
movie.
long was the prequels and the originals separated from?
You mean like how long and did they wait after making the Return of the
Yeah,
Jedi until
like
the
how
Phantom
long?
Menace?
Yeah.
Forever, but
Well,
that's
no,
usually.
no, 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 not that. I mean,
Oh,
in between each
how far apart were
movie
they from each
trilogy.
other?
Yeah,
Um,
not including the newest trilogy.
I would guess only a few. Like the Phantom Menace came out in 1999, so that let's see, Attack of the Clones release date. Attack of the Clones. That was okay. Why is it being weird? Release date 2002. So 3 years later, and then I believe when was Revenge of the Sith? Revenge of the Sith release date 2005. So they were each 3 years apart. Original trilogy, I don't know. Let's check. A New Hope. I'm a bad Star Wars fan. I should know when that was released. 1977. Empire Strikes Back release date. So 1977 to 1980. So 3 years. Okay, let's see if 1983 is Return of the Jedi. Let's place your bets. And it is 1983. So 3 years in between each of those movies. Whereas we've had only, a single year, which I feel like a single year would be fine if they just didn't do what they did with Solo, which was honestly a really good movie. Um, and just that wasn't a year later. That's the problem. They're like, oh, the year later method doesn't work. No, it does. You released a movie 5 months later. Don't do that. Released a year later. Like, I don't know. I feel like because everyone's blaming it on that problem, the schedule of a year release date, and I get maybe have a little more space, but like blaming that on the Solo or like the Last Jedi, it's like no, that's not what happened. It was the fact that it was 5 months later. That's a little different, and then we're waiting all the way until the Rise of Skywalker, which gives us more time to be anticipating it and such. But I don't know. So 4 years would seem like a lot, but who knows? They could adjust the release dates as it happens too, because like 2026, that's 7 years in the future. I feel like there's a little bit of wiggle room. So it could be what you're saying, and they might just be like, oh, you know what? Let's move it up just a little bit, like a single year or whatever. I don't know. I kind of hope that you're right, though. I hope that we're getting the first movie from their trilogy, then the first movie for Ryan Johnson's, because I really want to see Ryan Johnson's trilogy sooner rather than later. I'm very excited for the Game of Thrones one as well, but like I am particularly excited to see what Ryan Johnson does. However you feel about The Last Jedi, I don't care about it for its political that kind of stuff. I don't see it as a political thing. I just see it as a movie that I really enjoy. I get the problems, some of the problems that are had with it, but some of those are unavoidable in all honesty, and some of them I think are just make it more artistic. But also just honestly visually, God, it's such a good movie. It is such a pretty movie, and I just would love to see what he does with his own trilogy. So I'm pumped for that. And then the other thing they're talking about is Disney Plus series. So we know of two right now: The Mandalorian, which is going to come out this year. Then we know of Cassian Andor, which is not coming out for at least another year. I think that's going to come out in 2020, is what they said, at some point. Uh, we also know of the Clone Wars coming back for another season. Personally, I'd love it if they did like even I know this is the last of Clone Wars, but like I wouldn't be mad if they did more, even though they said this is the last thing and how they want to end it. I don't know what they would do, but like something I would be fine with. I don't even care. I feel like that an animated show in the style of Clone Wars, but set between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens would also be good. But who knows? Um, the main thing I want to talk about though is the live action
That
shows.
already exists, by the way.
Well,
The
Resistance is
yeah.
like right before The Force Awakens. It's not. It's not
Okay.
like. I mean,
You
yes,
mean
it's
like
technically.
more in the middle
Yeah, no, something
of the
like
two times?
actually in the middle. That is literally like right before and then during The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, which I actually need to watch that show. I really want to now. I need.
I, I don't know. I'm hesitant because I haven't heard that great of things of it, but
I've heard pretty decent things. Not like
I've heard
amazing.
decent things, but like I've also heard a lot of like my dad who loves he's loved all of the shows so far.
Hmm.
He watched like the first couple episodes and he straight up said, "This show isn't for me. I'm not
Well,
gonna watch it."
in all fairness, I didn't like. I didn't even give Rebels a chance until season 2 rolled around. And honestly, the first season, like, I didn't think it was bad, but I was just like, if I had just watched the first season, I would have just been like, eh. But like as it went on, especially with the season 2 premiere, like with Vader and everything, that's when it upped its game, and that's when I'm like, okay. So I'm very curious, especially with the fact that it's going into. It may have, we may get actually our first post the Last Jedi story from that show because of the fact that it takes place like basically during that. So we might get something before the Rise of Skywalker. I don't know, but I do want to watch it at least once just to know what's happening,
Right.
and because I want to see the Gold Stormtrooper. There's a Gold Stormtrooper. No, but I am.
Yeah, I probably will watch it at least once.
So I
Just
just need to do that. Part of me wants to wait till season 2 is out to start because
and because of Star Wars.
yeah, but part of me wants to wait till season 2 is out to watch it, just so I have more to watch because I kind of like binge
Right.
watching, and like especially with shows that it would take more to get into, like Rebels, where it's like once you have the more exciting stuff, it's like okay, I'll get all through this just to work my way there. Whereas I don't have to watch season 1 and be like and then wait to get to the exciting stuff where it's like I'm underwhelmed. But I haven't seen the show, so I don't know. But the main thing
Right.
that I want to talk about is live action show. They just announced there will be another one by 2021. So my question to you is, what would you like to see for that? Like, would you want to see something with a new character like the Mandalorian, or something with a character we already know like Cassian? Which of those two would you
Um,
prefer?
I would like to see some new characters. I feel like yes, we do have really great characters that we need to explore still,
Hmm.
but I feel like we need to see more characters. I was
Uh-oh. I do not know why we are cutting out right now. That is not good. But don't worry. Have no fear. Eric is here. And I'm still stalling. Okay, wait. You cut out. What were you saying?
I would like to see more characters, is what I said.
Okay.
Like that I think that would
What?
be neat and that'd be cool. But if they do something like where they have the main character be a known character and just have a whole bunch of like new characters try out new characters, that'd be good too.
Yeah, because I feel like that'll probably be the case with the Cassian series. It's like we'll have Cassian and K2SO, but then a bunch of new characters. Whereas the Mandalorian, it's like him and the main girl are new, but there's IG-88 and Bosk and maybe Boba Fett at some point. It's like all the bounty hunters,
Hmm.
like and all that stuff. So it's like
Right.
you get that balance either way. I feel like it is worth noting that Obi-Wan is a very likely thing. I would also kill to see a Kira and Maul like a solo follow up. Like honestly, like a Solo 2, but as a Disney Plus series.
Hmm.
I'd be so fine with that. I loved Solo. I would love to see more of the cast from Solo or Enfys Nest, like her own show, that kind of stuff. I'd be fine with those. I also would be cool with my dream. So like if I could pick anything, I would say, let's go to the Clone Wars. So have it set during the Clone Wars. Follow new clone characters, but Ahsoka make her live action debut. Like it could be a new clone company, and like they run into characters we know, like Ahsoka, that kind of stuff. But like so new
Would you
characters
rather have
pre-prepared.
Ahsoka be introduced in a live action TV show or a movie?
I feel like a live action TV show would be easier. I would love to have her in a movie as well. I would honestly, I
It
would
would be
love to have a
easier,
prequel
but what
set.
I'm worried about with that is the lower budget not really doing it
Well, you
justice.
say lower budget, but are you aware of the Mandalorian's budget? It's like more than the
Yeah,
movie. So I feel like they would do it. I feel like they
I
would do it
know.
fine, but I don't know.
I just TV, TV show adds so much, it just there's like a stigma behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Where it's like lesser value almost.
Hmm.
Like TV actors with movie actors.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is I think Disney Plus is kind of eliminating that because they're taking all the movie actors and doing like the
Right,
MCU shows and with Star Wars with Cassie and that kind of stuff. So it's like they're kind of just making like really long movies at this point. It's less of a TV show and it's just like this is a really long movie that you can just watch at home. So,
right.
which you know what?
That's what I liked about the Marvel Netflix shows.
Yeah, and I feel like the new stuff's going to be even more like that. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that'd be great because more story that's like long movies. I love that. That's great.
Mhm.
Where you can just sit and just delve into the story for a long period of time. It's great.
Okay, so you know what else we need on Disney Plus? We were talking about possibly like an animated show that would be in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I know exactly
Right.
what it should be.
What?
Ezra and Thrawn.
Yes, absolutely. We need to see something with that. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure that there is something, but like, I better hear something about it after the Rise
Wanted
of
to do with
Skywalker.
that.
Like, I need to hear about it after the Rise of Skywalker. Like, I can wait. I'll be patient because I'm sure they're working on something. But like, once the Rise of Skywalker happens, and like that means the Mandalorian will also have happened. It's like, okay, all the stuff I'm excited for happened. What's going to happen? Like, I can wait for it, but I need to know how I'm going to find out the answers to that. So I would be fine if
Right.
that was
Yeah.
the next Disney Plus thing.
Yeah. Absolutely. We need to see something with that because like you can't just leave us hanging too long
No,
for that.
like that's like even bigger than like what the Clone Wars left, and the Clone Wars didn't even get to finish. I mean,
Hmm.
now it is, but
I
like the Clone
know.
Wars left less unanswered stuff than Rebels did, and they did that on purpose. Like so man,
Yeah.
I need to know
Mhm.
mainly Thrawn and I'm really into Ezra. Like I just those two. Ugh. But yeah, I'd be down if Sabine had a cameo in The Mandalorian or something. Like, what if they planted seeds for that in the Mandalorian or maybe the Cassian show, like stuff like that, like little Easter eggs to the Rebel. Like the Mandalorian would be able to.
Do we know when the Mandalorian is set?
We do. I just don't remember. It's years after. It's several years after the Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
I want to say 4. I could be wrong on that. Mandalorian time period. Well, it says the debut. It says a few years after Return of the Jedi. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's possible. I don't know if it would be that early though. We do know that like it was around the time of
Oh, I don't think
wasn't it?
it would. I'm saying an Easter egg is in like a Sabine cameo or like
Okay.
hearing that Sabine is off somewhere, not necessarily like, oh, there's Ezra and Thrawn. Like, I don't think that's going to happen, nor do I want
Okay.
that to happen. I want them
Yes.
to be the focus of their own. I just want like a subtle planting of like, oh, like House Wren is out on some adventure. Like something like they're
Now,
not
do you
here.
think that will satisfy you until we get news of what they're going to do with that, or do you want news alongside with that?
I would like news still because I just want to know what format I'm getting that story in. Like, I want to. I want to know if I'm getting that story in a book or in a show, preferably a show, or like I want to know how I'm getting it. So like I would still the Easter egg would make me even more excited, but I would still need news because I'm like I just need to give me. I can wait a year for the story after you tell me, but just like tell me, is it a show? Is it a what? Like I just need to know it's coming.
Right.
I need proof of life on some sort of project. So yeah.
Well, I don't see it not coming. It's just
Oh, I
when is
know.
it
I
going to
just want to
come?
know. I just want to know when it's gonna come.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to ask you about Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Isn't that the mobile game?
No, oh no, I'm talking about the theme park.
Oh, Galaxy's Edge. I want to go to that so bad.
So bad. It looks amazing. Have you seen the
It
fact that
does.
they have literally the beverages there, like Sprite, Coke, that kind of stuff, are shaped like thermal detonators or other things like that. And on the bottles, it's not written in English; it's written in Arabic, like Coke, Sprite. That's all in Arabic, no
That's
English.
that's great.
Yeah,
Everything I hear about this, I want to go to it more. Have you know about the like build your own droid and the build your own lightsaber
lightsaber,
thing? That's like
yes.
so much better than the one that they had at the.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
They're like actual
yes,
metal, that kind of. It's amazing. Holocrons, you
yes,
can buy Sith and Jedi holocrons
I know, dude.
and put
They look
kyber
so
crystals in them.
good,
I'm so excited. I'm gonna spend so much money there.
and you
I
can put like different crystals in it or something.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, you can put kyber crystals in it and it'll unlock different information. Part of me,
that's
I want to go right away, but at the same time I'm like I need to wait a year or two. One, so I can save up money, but two, like it'll be so crowded that I feel like it won't be enjoyable for the first like year.
that, and who knows? Maybe they might find something that doesn't really work after like the park. You know, like as they
Yeah,
get
tweak it as it
feedback.
goes.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
it's always better
It's not
to
going to
like
get worse. It's
see
only going to get better. Like yeah,
right,
so
exactly.
no, I
Yeah, if
totally
you've ever gone really feel that refined, you know?
yeah. There's always a little bit of learning
Mm.
curve as you open. So then you just gotta learn as you go, and it'll only improve. So, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for so much merchandise there.
it's gonna be
So
awesome.
much. I cannot wait. We should go together. I feel like
We
it would be
should.
nuts.
We
That would be
should.
really cool. Definitely
Absolutely.
definitely gonna do that. No, but oh god, I'm so
And if
excited.
Luke isn't busy, he should come with us too.
Look, we're just gonna kidnap him. We can put him in the suitcase or something. Like we'll plan the trip. We won't even tell Luke.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
We'll just be like,
doesn't
"Hey,
matter what his
Luke,
plans
come
is. We're
here.
just gonna kidnap.
Come here. Just squeeze in the suitcase. You're gonna really like it. We promise."
I would say that we can like trick him by saying, "Hey, let's go toy shopping," but he doesn't like doing that.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't do that like we do. So he's the
Yeah,
only
every
one.
time we ask him, he's like, "No." Yeah, he's the only one of us that like doesn't like to do that.
Like everyone else is into this, so he's literally the one person that we can't use that on. Dang it,
I know.
Luke. There's a bunch of money in this suitcase. You just got to get inside, and then it's
There's like
yours.
$5 billion in this suitcase. We're not going to go for it because we already know that we can't get into it. But we know you're smart enough to get into it, so go right ahead.
It's definitely a genius plan. But yeah, uh,
Absolutely.
well, I think that's basically all I wanted to talk about for the Star Wars portion. Other than let's tease the fact we're definitely doing Awesome Asylum at some point because again we were
Yes.
literally just talking about Endgame so much before this, and also there's Disney Plus stuff to talk about over there, and especially
Yeah.
now that we know stuff from Endgame. There's big implications for those things. So yeah,
Hmm.
definitely stay tuned for that. We'll talk about that. We have more to come. Hopefully, you and I can actually hang out at some point this coming week or weekend. I want to do a hangout with like Johnny and Tanner and them,
Yeah.
so you guys too. So I would like to do that, and maybe we can get something from that. So yeah, definitely stay tuned. So if you want to hear more about well Transformers and stuff, but also more Star Wars and also Marvel superhero, all that, and there's some DC stuff to talk about. In the future,
Yeah.
definitely subscribe to Nerdy Geek Talk, anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Podcast Addict, and more. Wherever you listen to podcasts, just Nerdy Geek Talk. Also, follow at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter. You'll be notified the second podcast go up, and you can listen to them right away. You can follow me personally at Eric Crowbar on Twitter, where I'm at all the time, at Aramis Prime on Instagram. And also, definitely go check out the Brotatoes, at Brotato Brothers on Twitter and Instagram, but at Brotatoes on YouTube. We just filmed something today. We have several projects coming up. They're actually really exciting, and the production's going to be really good on them. Like, we actually have full-on production schedules, and, like, we've been doing meetings and stuff. It's legit. We're doing important things now. There'll also be small stuff coming on the channels, too, but there's exciting big stuff. Oh, again, we just filmed something today. It was actually nuts but hilarious. So that should be up literally in a day or two. I think that's about Eric Conover on YouTube. There will be small stuff coming there as well. That's not as big, but there will be other stuff as well. John, where can people find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on Instagram at John_the_Foreman, no H in the John. And they can find me
Four
on
is also
Twitter.
FOUR. F-O-R-E, not the number.
Yes, Foreman. And on Twitter at Darth_Forge. By the way, I love the idea behind Brotato, that whole thing.
Hmm.
I love that idea. I hate the name. I absolutely
Why do
hate
you
the
hate
name
the name?
because it's your guys' darn potato thing, and I don't. That's annoying.
That's funny. I did not know that. I love that. I'm glad that I know this information. That's actually really funny. I didn't know that you hated the name. That's funny. But yeah, so excited for all that stuff, and we will catch you soon. See ya.